What's going on with everybody? It's your boy Eric, aka Young God, coming to you live in the Green Dungeon, giving it to you real raw rugged. I have a little cold, so excuse me. But I got somebody on FaceTime. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Who we got today?
What up, man? Avocado here.
Hey man, what you got going on today, man?
Doing a bunch of shit. I'm finishing a battle. We're gonna post on Ruin Your Day tomorrow. And then I'm going to the gym. Doing a bunch of shit.
Well, before we even get to battling or anything like that, outside of battling and you working on movies and shows and stuff like that, what are things that interest you as a person?
Things that interest me as a person.
Yeah, just things that just spark your interest outside of battling and working on like editing and things like that.
Really into music. Film is inspiring to me. I like visual art, any form of visual art, whether it be photography, painting, illustration, graphic art. All that's inspiring to me. Athleticism. I'm into football a lot. I like football. I'm actually going to the Rams-Chiefs game on Monday. I'm hella excited about that. And yeah, just everything inspires me in life. I like to enjoy everything that's visual and everything that I can take in.
Do you have a favorite football team?
I'm a Broncos fan because I'm from Denver, but they're like not doing so good for the past couple of years. So I've kind of been like, searching around. My favorite teams are probably the Broncos, right now the Rams, Saints, Eagles, and I fuck with the Browns too, just because they're the underdog constantly.
Okay, that's a terrible choice to be fucking with right there. I would not fuck with the Browns. I'm I'm a Patriot guy, so shout out to Patriots.
So you're used to winning.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very used to the winning team. And I think it's interesting that you say things like visual art and like stuff like that inspires you. Do you do any visual art?
I mean, besides like everything that I do for a living, like besides making film, I don't like draw or anything. I wish I did. I wish I had the technique and the ability to draw, but outside of like, videography, editing, and all that, I don't do anything else. I could do photography, but I feel like what I do is photography in a sense, so I don't know. I don't go that much further to try to attain that skill set. But yeah, I mean, besides film, not really.
It's really funny that you bring up film and things like that because I interviewed Daylight, and so it's hard to understand when he's like not trolling and when he's trolling. And he was telling me like he talks to you a lot about like film and things like that. And then he went in this like bizarre like speech on how like if you look closely at the credits of a lot of big list movies, you will see Devon Campbell and how he's like so serious on like just like editing things like that. So for you, knowing that you do like visual effects and things like that, like what are things in the movie like that you like do that people might not know? Like, because I don't think a lot of people know about your background in that.
Okay, so for the past 13 years, I did visual effects, and specifically what I did is I did compositing. What that is like essentially if you're going to compare a visual effects industry to a kitchen in a restaurant, the compositor is the chef that takes all the ingredients, whether it be the live shot footage, the photography, the computer-generated graphics, and then puts them all together for the final shot. So basically, I take all the elements that are needed to compose a shot and put them together, whether that be like a green screen, taking out the green screen, replacing it, whether it be adding an explosion, adding fire, adding smoke, adding like a fucking CG monster. I make it all look real and put it together for the final shot. I'm like the last person that touches a shot before it goes to final.
Is there a specific scene or a specific edit that you did that you're like the most proud about?
Not really. I mean, the thing is, I've done so many movies, so many TV shows and documentaries and everything that, like, honestly, sometimes I forget what I worked on. And really, at the end of the day, I mean, why I kind of got out of the industry is because visual effects at its core is not really a creative medium. What it is, it's essentially you're an engineer. There's only so many ways you can do something that the client wants you to do and get from point A to point B. It's not really like photography where it's like inherently creative. So, replacing a green screen with a background, there's not really like a creative way you can do that. It's more about just the technique and how you get to the end goal. So, yeah, I mean, I've worked on a ton of huge feature films that like plenty of people have seen. I don't know if I'm proud of anything because it's not like I put my personal stamp on any of that stuff, and it's not like I really had a say in anything that went into them. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think that's probably why I got out of the VFX field because I really didn't feel like I had any personal stake in it, and I really didn't have any pride in the work. It was kind of just a means to an end. So I kind of just wound up doing it since I worked in film, and then flash forward 13 years, I was still in it, and I've been wanting to quit VFX for like I think 5 years or so, and never really like knew when I was going to do it, and I was always saying like I would take a step into battle rap, do battle rap as a full-time job when it was financially feasible. But if you're ever going to make a career jump from one career to another, you're never going to be.
I think you might be covering up the mic right now a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better. It's better.
Yeah, so there's never going to be like a comfortable time for you to step from one career to the next, especially when that career you're trying to jump to is a project of passion, right? Like obviously battle rap is not like this huge lucrative career field that multiple people are getting into and just making hundreds of thousands of dollars, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are just barely scraping by. So, I just figured like fuck it, I'm just going to try to step into this and do this full time. There's never going to be a comfortable way for me to do this. And I've always been pretty good at hustling my ass off and like making the most out of something. So yeah, I mean, I just didn't take any pride in my VFX work. To be honest with you, it was never my passion. I never loved it. I didn't mind it per se. I didn't mind doing it day in and day out, but the hours were crazy long. Like 12-hour days is like a normal there.
Mm-hmm.
If you do 12 hours as a normal day, and that's like you sitting down at a computer for 12 hours a day, just working. It's like I don't know. It's like the lifestyle of VFX is inherently so unhealthy. It's like just gross. You just waste your life in front of a fucking screen, burning your eyeballs out, and like getting fat.
So it would have been better if you could put like a creative touch on it. It would have been like more better for you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, and that's like that's every other aspect of filmmaking is it's creative. Film is creative, and I think the visual effects field, there's parts of it that are creative and there are parts of it that are artistic. But being a compositor is not. You're not creative. You're an engineer. You put together the recipe, you put together the ingredients for a shot, and you make it look like what it looks like. You can alter it to taste as much as you want. Ultimately, the client that has the final say, and the director has the final say. So you can really like do it exactly how you want. But yeah, so super excited to be out of that field. To be honest with you, like I've been doing battle rap full time for I think almost like a month and a half now, and I could not be happier. Like my life is fucking awesome. To be honest with you, so.
Well, you said that you wish you knew how to do like visual effects, like painting and drawing, things like that. Would you use that in some type of way in battle rap, or would you use that in another art form, or how would you actually think that you would use like visual arts?
If I could paint or draw, I think I definitely would incorporate it into certain things. Like I can draw good enough. Like like obviously like the Ruin Your Day shirt designs, those are all designed by me. So it's like I can do what I want, but I wish that I just had like another level up on that. That's the same thing as anybody wishing they were skilled at everything. It's like really at the end of the day, you're not going to be the best at everything. You're going to be good in most things, and then you're going to highly excel in like one field, and that's your field of choice.
Definitely.
So yeah, I mean, if I was good at like drawing, if I was better at photography, it would definitely help what I do in the day to day, I think. But that's kind of just like a pipe dream of thinking I'm going to be the best at everything.
Another thing that caught my eye, you said that music inspires you, and I always wondered, are you the person rather, who picks the music in between battles on like the live streams?
Yes, I am that person. Yeah, I mean, like essentially, how it works is, like when a league hires me to do a pay-per-view, like essentially they're hiring me for the whole creative vision of all the visual and audio material that you're going to watch during the pay-per-view. So when they hire me, they know that they're hiring me not only to get across a clear picture and sound of the battles and have that presented in the clearest way possible, but they're also hiring me to create the content in between the battles. And since, like, you know, to be honest with you, like, most battle events, they don't have the budget for me to go out and film new content for every single event. So I don't have, like, the budget to, like, go interview battle rappers and create trailers for every single battle happening on the card. So what do? I fill it with content that I've already created, and the content that I've already made that has no copyright attached to it is the stuff for Ruin Your Day. And that's why I would use Ruin Your Day artists and people that I work with, because nobody can slam us with a copyright claim. So.
Can they do that through the I know if, like, you stream on YouTube, they hit you with a copyright claim, but can they hit you with a copyright claim through, I guess, the watchbattles.com thing?
Well, I mean, if you're selling anything and you're making money off something and you're using somebody else's material to sell a product, that's illegal. You can't, like, I couldn't sell a DVD that had an NFL game on it.
That makes sense.
I couldn't sell a pay-per-view that had, like, a YG song on it. You know, granted, I have used YG songs in pay-per-views before, but the thing is, they could definitely, if they wanted to, they could pursue a lawsuit against us. So that's why I'm always using stuff that has no copyright attached to it. And I see a lot of people kind of complaining about that. They're like, oh, you should play more of this, that, and the other. And I'm like, well, I don't own that material. Like, I can't. Like, I'm just trying to, like, alleviate any potential problems that these leagues might face if somebody decides to file a lawsuit against them. So I'm trying to operate in the most legal way I possibly can. But thankfully enough, you know, I have a channel that I create new content on a daily basis that I can use for anything I want. So that's kind of where I have the advantage being a content creator.
In a perfect world, if you could, you know, play anything you wanted to, who would be the people that you would play outside of the Ruin Your Day artist? Like, are songs that you listen to, like, who are people that you listen to and you like?
As far as rappers, I mean, of course, I love all the West Coast guys. I love YG, love Schoolboy Q, love RJ, Mr. LA. I'll probably just play them nonstop. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like I like all battle rappers' music, and I like supporting all of them. You know, like, especially on the streams, like at Summer Madness 8, I played like Sue Surf, played Calico, Big T, T-Top, and like playing those songs, I think advertises them as being artists, not only as battle rappers, you know. So
I think an interesting comment made on one of the watch. It was Big K. It was one where it was Big K, Marv One, and Iron Solomon. You guys ignored him when he said this, but he asked you guys, what were your favorite YouTubers and what do you watch on YouTube outside of, like, battle rap? And I was curious, what do you watch on YouTube outside of battle rap, or who do you watch on YouTube that you like?
People I watch on YouTube outside of battle rap. I used to watch Rich Piana. He was a fitness guy until he passed away. He was really just a positive influence. And then now I watch this channel called Real Life Lore, Lore, and it's just like this really interesting, like, fact channel, I guess you could say. He just like puts these really interesting, like, facts together that's like fucking mind blowing. And then of course I kind of listen to Joe Rogan, sort of. He kind of bothers me, but he's still incredibly intelligent and is great at making a podcast. So I peep his stuff every now and then. But to be honest, man, like, I'm so involved with battle rap, and so much of my time and my day is taken up to battle rap. It's kind of like not really smart of me to not pay attention to what's everything going on, especially with Ruin Your Day having this news show. So honestly, like, when I'm not doing work, I watch Champion. I watch like every other blog out there. I watch battles. You know, I just try to keep up to date. It's really a full-time job. I don't really have much time to, like, do anything else. So.
Well, I meant to ask you this, but since you are out of the visual effects thing, do you ever watch movies and you're like, wow, that was terrible, I would have did that way better, and you wish you would have done that?
Yeah, actually, man, to be honest with you, I don't like watching movies.
Because you're so much of a critic.
Well, it's honestly not that. It's not that I like have like a eye from behind the curtain and I know how things are done, or it's not even that I think things look bad. It's just I spend so much time, man, like sitting behind a screen, and like right now I'm like editing some shit.
Mm.
Like I'm literally like behind a laptop. I'm in front of a phone right now. I spend so much time behind a screen that like when I have free time, the last thing I want to do is go sit in front of another screen. Like I don't want to go to a movie. I want to like either smoke a cigar. I want to go to the gym. I want to go outside. I want to like walk like my dogs. I want to do something like active, you know. So it's like that's why I don't like watching movies, and I really, really hate watching TV. Like I don't even own a television. So yeah, I think that's why. But I mean, like when I watch movies and I see good visual effects, I appreciate them. A lot of the times, I'm really blown away by what people can do, and I'm also blown away that people spend so much time doing VFX. Like when I see things, I'm like just thinking of like how many of those artists' lives were ruined making those movies and like pulling overtime hours. Like make a fucking Transformer movie. I watch those and I'm just like, these are fucking insane. And like I know they were done on something that allowed them to do crunch time in the last 2 weeks that it was due. They just ruined their fucking lives, you know? Like, so that boggles my mind. But yeah, I'm not much of a movie guy, to be honest with you.
I think what boggles my mind is I do interviews, not even that long, like 30 minutes, like, God, I forbid it be an hour, and my eyes are killing me. You say you're, like, 12 hours, 35 hours a week. How are you not, like doing, like, one of these, like, getting glasses? Like, I've never seen you with glasses. Like, do you have good eyesight?
No, my eyesight sucks.
I can.
I have such bad. I mean, that's the joke on watch is like I'm always going like this, and it's like my eyes have gotten really bad. Like they've gotten terrible, and I need to get glasses, but I'm fucking stubborn. I'm also like, you know, even though I have like a really crazy work ethic and I'm very motivated, I feel, and I'm very proud of how productive I am. I'm also like in other areas of my life pretty lazy. Like I don't like do things like get my oil changed in my car. I don't think I've washed my car in probably like a year and a half. It's been like hella long.
That's crazy.
And then so like getting glasses is something that's like just not high on my priority list, even though it's like fucking affecting my vision, my day-to-day life. I want to get LASIK really bad, but I heard you have to kind of wait until your eyesight goes bad all the way until you get that. But yeah, my eyesight sucks, dude. It's terrible.
That's crazy. Yeah, I hate being in front of the screen so much. I always wondered also, because I would imagine, you know, like when people do interviews or people behind the camera really aren't significant to like most people, but you seem to like, I guess, come in front of the camera and be like a very significant person of the battle rap culture. When you first started filming battle rap, how long did it take before you started befriending battle rappers? Like, who was the first battle rapper you befriended or they took to you? Like, how did that even come about? Because I feel like most rappers, they see the cameraman, they don't care about the cameraman. So how did you make yourself, you know, the cool guy?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess, like, how I even got started filming battle rap was just by knowing people. You know what? It's like I met Lush, and I did a video of, like, a small competition in San Francisco and posted it online. And everybody was like, holy shit, who did this? This is so good. And I just met everybody from there. And honestly, everybody was cool. Everybody was cool that I was meeting. I mean, I'm not really that much of a social guy, but like when I was filming all these battles, I was meeting all these battle rappers and becoming friends with them, and I was becoming like the West Coast dude. So a lot of people had like allegiance to me in a way, I guess you could say. But yeah, I mean, and I think that's the thing about watch that a lot of people like have misconstrued over battle rap as a whole. That people think these battle rappers are these mean people that like on a daily basis are assholes and they're highly egotistical and arrogant. And while that may be true in a sense for their art form, that's not really true in a sense for how they are as people. Like they're these battle rappers are fucking some of the nicest human beings I've ever met. They're like super kind, they're caring towards each other. We're all like a big family, to be honest with you. And like after events, like oftentimes we all just kick it with each other and we're all like just talking like, oh, that was so dope when you said this. Oh man, you killed this round. Blah blah blah. So it's like it's all like a big family. So like as soon as I started doing it, I started becoming friends with everybody, and especially now doing watch, like it's like a no brainer. Whenever I meet somebody, they want to get on watch, and it's like just like chilling with a friend.
Yeah, I can tell because you said people are like these battle rappers are really nice people. I realize you're a nice person because you're nicer than I am. Because when I interview people, I kind of like I'll retort something and I kind of be like an asshole sometimes. But like you make people feel comfortable, and I think that's like a very important thing when you interview people is to make them feel comfortable. So like I could tell you may disagree with something, and I could tell because I kind of interview people. I could tell like if you may disagree, but just be like word. You like I be like, oh, when we hit him with the word, he definitely don't disagree. He definitely don't agree with this nigga. So it's really funny when you do that. Is this something that's like you do in like your daily life? Are you more aggressive, like shut up, you're wrong, or are you always just like the guy to make them feel comfortable, like where yeah, you're right, or is that just something you learned behind like interviewing people?
Yeah, you're right. You're right, man. Like I think it's like I'm not trying to like be confrontational in general. Like,
Yeah.
I have like no. I think it's like unless you really have a stake in something, and especially with people's mindset nowadays, unless you like really care about that individual, and usually in an argument, and especially like it's even worse when you're on camera, because like really an argument on camera isn't really two people trying to make their point and come to an agreement. It's two people trying to save face and defend their ego.
Mm.
It's like, and nobody's going to be like, you know what? That's right. I've never looked at it from that point of view. Nobody's going to fucking say that. They're just going to be like, nah, you're wrong. And that's going to like, get higher and higher. The stakes are going to get higher. It's going to go to insults, like, so that's why, like, even when I like strongly disagree with what somebody's saying on watch or anything, even I've kind of tried to like take that train of thought to like how I interact with people on Twitter as well, and fans. Like when they come with me like a strong opinion, even if it's something kind of like dissing me or something like that, I never take the offensive, especially when I'm doing like customer service work for the pay-per-views, and people are like, "The fuck, it's like freezing, you fucking assholes! Like I need my money back. I want a refund. This bullshit." And they're being like really aggressive and disrespectful. I don't take the offensive of being mean back. I take the kind of like objective of solving their problem and being nice, because 9 times out of 10 they just want to see the battle. It's like they're not trying to be an asshole just for the sake of being an asshole. So I don't know. I've just like kind of found it's way more beneficial to be friendly, nice, avoid confrontation, and not get in an engagement of an argument unless I truly see that other person is trying to see something from another point of view, which 9 times out of 10 they're not. So it's like if I disagree with something, I'll just let it go, and I'll try to take the viewpoint of maybe I'm not looking at this correctly, and maybe I need to look at it from your perspective. So it's like I can learn something every day. But yeah, I definitely have taken that train of thought to try to make people feel comfortable on the show and not be argumentative and not be negative. Like I've taken this big thing of trying to be overwhelmingly positive recently.
Yeah.
And I think it's affected a lot of people. I definitely have like noticed a lot of my fans have like noticed it, and I think not drinking anymore has done a huge benefit to me in general, and just kind of like putting that positive image out there of like being productive, being nice, being positive, friendly, enjoying battle rap as a whole, because like this whole culture is so small, and like we're all in this niche thing that we all at the end of the day enjoy. We all love battle rap, right? And we all want to talk about battle rap. We want to enjoy it. We want to see good battles. So there's no reason why we should be hating on each other. We're like this small thing. We need to come together as a group to help push the culture forward. And I think there's no better way in doing that is like kind of joining as a community and being positive. So.
Yeah, I think it's a place for everything, like the way you interview people. Because the only time you'll really like retort something, I can tell is if you're really, really cool with that person. Like somebody like Ilmac. Like if he says something, you might come back at him. Because you guys, like, I think the funniest thing that ever happened on there was you asked who Joey Badass was. He said it was a wrestler, and you went along with it. Yeah. That's super funny. But I feel like it's a place for people who also, they say something you'll disagree with, not you specifically, but another interviewer, and they're retorted. I feel like it's a place for everything. And I also think it's a really big place for positivity, where I think a lot of these battle rappers, they come from a place where a positive lifestyle isn't a thing, is non-existent. So the way they're brought up is to be negative. Like, listen, I want to kill you, blah blah blah. Like, all of this is coming from a negative, real place. So I think for you to push the positivity, you might talk to somebody who's a really negative person. You might change their whole outlook on things because you could just tell the way they rap that they're really, not in a good place. So I think that's a really good thing for you to push positivity because, I mean, if the world's a happier place, the world's a better place. So I think it's actually a good thing you do right there. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of a good way to wrap this all up. Anything else you got to say before we get out of here?
Nah, man. I mean, shout out you. Thank you for the interview. Keep following Ruin Your Day. We got plenty of events coming up on the horizon. I mean, just to run down events that I'm filming outside of Ruin Your Day that are real battle events. We got the Shots Fired battle tomorrow. That's Kichigati and B-Dot versus Marv 1 and Quest with Cody. Get the pay-per-view at shotsfiredbattleleague.net/PPV. And then on December 1st, Battle of the Zay, or Ruin Your Zay, Thesaurus versus Remy D. And then the next weekend is Decade, and then the next weekend is Volume 3. So got plenty of events on the horizon.
All right. Well, I actually have one more thing I want to ask you. What is one thing that you want to improve on about Watch? Is there anything you want to improve on about Watch?
About Watch, I mean, there's a lot of things like just quality things. I think I want to improve upon, and just like making it more of a show. I want to not have people get drunk on there anymore. That's a big thing.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, that's something that it doesn't help the show. You know, it's like fun. You know, it's cool. Like, and it's a fun party atmosphere. But I don't think it's like helping the show at all for somebody to be sloshed on there.
What about? My phone. Keep going.
I said that's weird coming from me because I used to get fucking hella wasted on there. But yeah, I mean, I've just noticed recently when people are like really drunk on there, it's like doesn't help at all.
Oh, I've seen before. I've definitely seen. I'm not gonna bring it up. I've never seen one crazy episode that got vaulted recently. That was crazy. That was that was one of the craziest. I was like, yo, and I could see you were getting visually frustrated. I was like, yeah, this has to end soon. This is getting crazy. So that's interesting. You said that. Would you end up like not wanting people to get really high also?
No, weed's fine.
Okay.
Weed is totally cool. I've never had a problem with anybody smoking weed ever.
Okay.
Like, I think weed is a great thing. And you know, it's if anything, they just get a little more quieter, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, I appreciate you having here. Until next time, everybody. I say what I mean what I say. Haters gonna hate. Players gonna play. And holla at your boy.